I wanted to follow up on the video I posted earlier today now that the developers have made an official forums post regarding what it was we saw earlier. Loki wrote on the official forums, "Greetings, Terrarians. Earlier today we conducted a community live stream direct from Terraria Mobile 1.3 running on one of our phones. While that is certainly plenty cool and we really appreciate everyone that stopped by to hang out and chat with us, we wanted to share the big piece of news coming out of that stream for anyone that was unable to attend." And he posted this. It's a picture from the stream showing a local connection between two of his own phones. Apparently Ted's iPhone is an old iPhone 6 that is running mobile 1.3 and he's connecting via an iPhone 10. And there you see the local menu and next to it the online multiplayer menu. More on that in just a second. Because he continued by writing, "That's right, for the first time ever, mobile Terrarians will be able to connect and play with their friends regardless of location. Of course, local multiplayer over the same Wi-Fi network is still very much included, as you can see from the screen above. We know this is one of the biggest things that mobile Terrarians have desired, well, that and 1.3, for a long time, so we are beyond excited to see this come to fruition." And then they posted this screen, which shows a battle between several players in the Wall of Flesh, with a note that Colin was slain. I don't know who Colin was. And then this screen here, which shows the list of currently connected players, I believe. Loki continued by writing, "Of course, there are lots of details behind the scenes here that you should know, so let's dive in. How will this work? Online multiplayer will work much like non-Steam PC multiplayer does. This means that you will need to enter the IP address from the host along with the port and any password that the host sets. Once you enter all of that information and tap join, then you're in. We chose this method to ensure that Android and iOS players can play together rather than sticking to the device family specific systems. It's a bit more complex, but opens up way more possibilities and players. Do remember that performance and the like will be dependent on device specifications and your network. Connecting via a lower-end supported device on a 3G connection will obviously see more potential issues than a top-end device over blazing fast Wi-Fi. But what about hosting online multiplayer sessions? Well, the most stable hosting environment is made possible via a standalone mobile server app for PC. This runs similarly to the dedicated server executable that PC Terrarians have been using for years. Simply run the program, enter a few choices, and you're all set up to go. The Terraria wiki has a good guide here, and I'll include this link in the video description. Note that you may need to port forward port 7777, which is the default, on your router. There are tons of videos and guides on this via Google, but here is one, and I'll include a link to this also. He continued by writing, "You can also host via your mobile device. Again, you will need to make sure that you have your port forwarded on your Wi-Fi router. Once you do so, you can start a mobile hosted game and provide your IP address to your friends. Reminder once again that hosting multiplayer sessions is a demanding task, so make sure the person with the best device and network is the one hosting. And we can't promise that a 4-year-old device is going to be able to host like a modern one can. See limitations section below for more details. Share your IP address with your buddies along with any password that you set, and you should be playing together in minutes. Hosting or hosted online servers are highly recommended to be on Wi-Fi for the host device or PC. Clients can be on whatever connection they want. The reason for this is multifaceted, but primarily it falls to mobile and cell data not always being stable and fast enough to handle hosting and playing duties coupled with the potential for shifting IP addresses as the host device pings different cell towers, which would immediately kick everyone at the very least. Lots of issues there. Use of mobile data hosting works as well, depending on your connection speed and stability, but is generally less reliable, so buyer beware. The team has found personal hotspots can also work quite well. We know this may be daunting for some folks, but really once you have port forwarding done, it's a breeze. That said, the team is looking into doing some professionally hosted servers that would be available for rent by anyone that wants to pay a monthly fee to a server host in order to remove the hassle, sort of how Minecraft Realms operates. We will share more details there when we have them. This would be purely optional, of course. So what are the limitations? Well, the team targeted and has done extensive testing with between 2 and 8 players. However, we are looking into expanding that to as many as 16 in the future. No promises though. On local connections, same Wi-Fi network, remember that the hosting device will be shouldering a lot of the load, so older, less capable devices will struggle more with performance and may not be able to host as many players as a newer device. There are too many devices out there to be able to pinpoint which device can do what, especially in regards to Android, so some experimentation may be needed. It bears repeating that performance and the like will be dependent on device specifications and your network. Connecting via a lower-end supported device on a 3G connection will obviously see more potential issues than a top-end device over blazing fast Wi-Fi. Well, we've heard that before. Anyway, he continued by writing, "We are sure that you will all probably have tons of additional questions, so we will do our level best to answer as many of those here as possible. Fire away." And I'll include a link to this particular forums post if you want to send in a question of your own. That said, we hope that you are as excited as we are to finally see online multiplayer come to pass on Terraria Mobile. The team has some other very intriguing potential plans in this space and others, so we would encourage anyone, or everyone rather, to watch this space very closely and stay tuned for more juicy details. Cheers, and here's to Mobile Terraria 1.3 coming very soon. Well, let's hope that the very soon part holds true, right? Because I know we've all been waiting a very long time. Before I conclude, there were a few other comments posted by Loki and others on the official forums that I wanted to go over. First of all, Senix, actually this was not from the official forums, this was from before the live stream. Senix wrote, "New mobile is going to blow your minds." Anyway, back to the forums post and Loki. Loki wrote recently, "How long after the beta? Well, that depends on what said beta uncovers, on top of the work yet to be done that is known already. Hard to say. Relogic is not drawing and selecting beta participants. The process is being run through 505 games, so I don't know any more than you do at the moment." A user on the forums wrote, "Why won't we be able to back up to the cloud in the update?" Loki responded, "You can, using the Files app native to your device." Another user wrote, "I just wish they made the beta public to everyone who owns the game to try it and send feedback. The more people get to test the beta, the more feedback will be given. That's my opinion, and it's all up to the team to decide. Good day." To that, Loki wrote, "There is a balance between feedback, bugs, and sheer utter chaos. No one here is a AAA studio with a 150-person QA department to go over messages sent in by thousands and thousands of people, likely in a variety of levels of quality of reporting. That is the balance being attempted here. The mobile version has already seen a ton of internal testing by this point, trust me." As another user noted, letting on that you have access is a terrible idea for your stress levels. You can and will be pestered to death to show info. It's not worth it. The idea here is finding people that truly are doing this for the betterment of the game versus getting to play early or having bragging rights. So, warning to anyone who is in the beta at this point or will be getting into the beta, don't advertise that you're in, because as Loki says, it'll only lead to grief on your end. Anyway, another poster wrote, it's probably getting removed to set up the updates first few months, but it should make an eventual return in 1.3.1 or even earlier. Loki wrote to that, as mentioned in a prior State of the Game update, Mobile 1.3 opens up file access via the Files apps native to Android and Google. So it will work much like it would say on PC, where you can move copy files between cloud and local, make backups, etc. Yes, that would include the ability to copy worlds. Yes, that is cheating, but Terraria is not a massively multiplayer online game, MOBA, or otherwise competitive online game, so the only person you are cheating is yourself. So I guess the question had been in relation to editing save files and world files, I guess. It wasn't entirely clear from the context. Anyway, it was revealed during the online reveal on the Twitch stream earlier today that everything that they had earned, so they haven't been debugging or anything, so they've been kind of purists on their end. So I guess if the developers are purists, then we ought to be purists too, right? Anyway, that's all I could find for the time being. Again, the lion's share of this video obviously is the details on the online multiplayer and their recommendations for devices and that sort of thing, but really the real meat of the nitty-gritty details is going to come next week with the State of the Game that should be out around July the 20th. Typically, it's the 20th of the month, so we'll know soon some more details on recommended specs for the phones and tablets you'll want to play Mobile 1.3 on. That's it for now, so thanks for staying through this long spiel, and I will see you next time.